What is up, guys? Long time no see. If you're new here, my name is Sierra. If you're not, welcome back to my channel. I didn't post last week because I honestly just didn't have a video to post. I had planned to do a lot of videos like our wedding week prep and honeymoon vlog and all kinds of things, but that just didn't happen for several reasons. So I thought that I would give you guys a story time about our honeymoon because it was a whole mess. It was like completely not at all what we wanted, and I don't want to be like dramatic and say that it was ruined, but like it just was not what we wanted out of a honeymoon at all. So I thought that I would give you guys a little bit of story time and kind of explain why I have not been posting or why I didn't vlog that and everything. So let's just get right into this story time. Okay, so to set the scene, we got married on October 16th. We were supposed to leave the very next day, that Sunday, the 17th, and go to Puerto Rico, stay there from Sunday to Sunday. We would come back, obviously, that next Sunday. And we had planned this trip probably 2 months ago, so it was already paid for. Everything was booked. We booked through a travel agent. Everything was good to go, and the only thing that we had to do was get a COVID test 72 hours before. And so I just want to start by saying that we thought originally that we just needed a COVID test 72 hours before our flight. So since we were supposed to leave on Sunday, we would have had to taken it by like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. But the results don't come back for like 1 to 2 days. So we were like, well, we'll just take it on Thursday because we were going to be busy all day Friday anyway with setting up for the wedding and rehearsal and everything like that. And then Saturday was obviously the wedding. And then Sunday we were supposed to be leaving. So we were like, okay, we'll just take it on Thursday. Our flight on Sunday was supposed to leave at 1:04. So we scheduled our COVID test on Thursday at 4:40 and 4:50 because we each had to have a time slot. So on Thursday, we go to get our COVID test and there's a huge line. So we are literally sitting in the CVS drive-thru for like 20 minutes. We end up not actually taking our COVID test until probably 5 o'clock or after, okay? So keep that in mind here. So we take our COVID test, we do it ourselves in the drive-thru, we put it in this little Dropbox thing, and then the lab people are supposed to come pick it up, take it, and then they would like text us our results through our little app through CVS. Great, fine, everything was good. And they told us, you know, it'll be 1 to 2 days before you get your results back. So at most, it should have been Saturday when those results came back. So Friday comes and I got my results back around 8:30 on Friday night. So mine came back negative, which we knew it would. I didn't have any symptoms, hadn't been around anybody, all that good stuff. So mine comes back negative, and I was like, okay, me and Jonathan took ours at the exact same time. Like we put them in the thing at the exact same time. Like his should be back, you know, probably by the end of the day, if not any minute now. So the rest of Friday goes on. We have finished the rehearsal, everything like that, and his results have not come in. And I was like, okay, kind of weird, but it said 1 to 2 days, so maybe his just got like pushed to the back or something. I don't know. I was like, so we still have all of Saturday, like it should be here by the end of tomorrow. So Saturday comes, we get ready for our wedding, we have our ceremony, do all the things. Wedding was absolutely perfect. We could not have dreamed for more. It was perfect in literally every way. Like I could cry just thinking about how amazing it was. But wedding is over. We go back to our hotel and it's like 10:30 on Saturday night at this point, and his results have not come back. And I purposely set it up to where it would come to my phone and my email because I knew that he probably, one, wouldn't pay attention to his phone, and two, he doesn't really check his email. So I was like, if I get it sent to me, like I will see it immediately. I had not received anything, so I was like, well, let me check just to make sure they didn't send it to him. He didn't have a text, he didn't have an email, anything. Logged into his CVS portal and it just said he had no test results like to see. So I was kind of panicking because we're supposed to leave the next day to go to Puerto Rico, and we're supposed to be at the airport at 11 o'clock because our flight is at 1. And we're like 2 hours away from the airport. We still have to go home the next morning, like feed our dogs, get our stuff because we didn't bring our Puerto Rico suitcase with us to the wedding. So like we still had to go by our house and get all our stuff. And so I literally called our travel agent that night and I was like, it's literally at this point like 10:45, 11. I call her and I'm like, Jonathan's COVID results have not come back yet. What do we do? And she was just kind of like, what do you mean they haven't come back yet? I was like, well, we took ours at the same time and mine are back, but his are not. So like, are we getting on this flight tomorrow, or like, do I have a day to relax? Because to say I was exhausted was an understatement. Like I was completely drained. I like was barely able to talk to anybody, barely able to talk to her on the phone, and I was so stressed out from just not knowing because I'm such a planner and everything like that. It was just like driving me nuts to not know, and like I just wanted to go to bed, but I was like, I have to figure this out before I can sleep, or I'm gonna be up all night long thinking about it. So she was like, well, maybe it's just because it's a weekend. She was like, try calling the CVS in the morning when they open and figure it out, because they open at like 9 o'clock. She was like, and that'll still give you plenty of time to get to the airport and all this stuff. So the next morning comes and I call CVS, and they pretty much were like, we don't handle the actual testing part. Like you just take it here and then we send it off. Like we don't know until the lab sends it back. And I was like, so you have no idea when it's gonna be back? And they were like, well, if you took it on Thursday, like it could be back any minute, but like because there's an influx of cases and an influx of people traveling and needing COVID tests, like it could take longer. Like we just really don't have an answer for you. So we're driving home from the hotel at this point, and so I call the travel agent back, and she was just like, well, that's not really a good enough answer. And I was like, well, that's kind of the answer I got. Like I don't know what to do. Like do we need to go to the airport? Like what are our options? So she starts going through it, and she's like, so you can either go to the airport like regular, hope that it comes in, because you don't actually need the COVID test to get on the flight, is what she told us. You just need it when you get there. And then we found out that we were supposed to have the COVID test 72 hours prior to our arrival wherever we were going. And we weren't supposed to arrive in Puerto Rico until 4:51, okay? So you have to upload your results to this app and all this stuff to like keep up with it. And so I went to enter my results, and because my appointment time was at 4:40, that's what printed out on the sheet with my results. So it asks you whenever you're uploading your stuff, like what time did you take the test? And I put 4:40 because that's what was on the paperwork, and it told me that my COVID test was invalid. It was taken too early because it was technically 11 minutes before our arrival time. So then I'm panicking that not even my COVID test is going to be good enough, and I figured out that I could like change the time and still upload it, and then it accepted it. So I was good to go, but she pretty much was like, you can go and hope that it comes back and get on the flight and like hope that it comes back before you get there. And then she was like, and then if it doesn't come back, when you get to Puerto Rico, like you can take a COVID test there and he'll just have to quarantine until that one comes back, which should only be a couple days. And then I was like, okay, so what if we get there, he takes the COVID test and that one also doesn't come back, or for some crazy reason it comes back positive? And she was like, then you have to quarantine for 14 days. Keep in mind, our trip was only 7 days long. Like I've only taken off work for a week. We've only paid for a hotel for a week. And I was just like, to be honest, I don't have enough vacation time to take off work another week, and we can't afford to stay there another week because it's expensive, especially to be quarantined in a hotel room. Like that is not what we want to do. And then we found out that if we were to wait and take a COVID test when we got there, it was going to be $300. And $300 to some people is not a lot, but when COVID tests are free here and like we already took it, we were just like, no, I do not want to do that. We're not paying $300. Like what else can we do? And so then she was like, well, I can cancel your flight today if you're like nervous that it's not going to come back and all this stuff, and I can reschedule it for tomorrow, which would be Monday, and hope that it comes back by then, which sounded like a great idea. And then we realized if we don't fly out until Monday, then even if his COVID test did come back negative, both of our COVID tests at that point would be invalid because it wouldn't be within the 72-hour time frame. So basically at this point, Puerto Rico is not an option. So I was like, okay, what can we do? Because clearly like we can't go to Puerto Rico, like everything is just not working out. Like what else can we do? And so this is still on Sunday, and she was like, so I can refund your trip, like cancel everything, you'll get a refund, like a travel credit refund. You won't get the money back in your account, but you'll get a travel refund, and then I can book you another trip like in place of that. And I was like, okay, well let's just do that, because the week that we had before, like everything just kept going wrong. Like the only thing that went right, thank God, was our wedding. Like the wedding day was perfect, but everything prior to that was just a whole mess. So I was like, we don't want to risk it. Like I don't have the time or the funds to stay there for an extra week if something were to go wrong with his test or whatever. So she refunded it, but since it was a Sunday, she was like, you know, accounting's not open, like it's probably going to be 24 hours at least before it actually refunds it. So she wouldn't actually be able to rebook us a trip until that Monday. And we were like, okay, that's fine. Like we'll have all Sunday to rest, because we were both just so tired. Like we had obviously been going all day Saturday. We had stayed up late, and it was just like, we need to rest rest day. So honestly, we were like, this is working out for the better. And she was like, okay, that's fine. She was like, just be thinking about where you want to go. So she kind of like was throwing out some options, and she was like, you can fly anywhere in the United States except for Hawaii without a COVID test, because that was our next question, like, are we gonna have to wait for another COVID test to come back? And she was like, you don't need one to fly like within the 50 states except for to Hawaii. So anywhere else we could go, just get on a plane and it wouldn't matter. So we agreed, came to the conclusion that we would go to the Florida Keys because it's beautiful there. Like, I wanted to sit on a beach and do nothing all week. Like, I just wanted to relax because the whole week before that was so crazy. And Jonathan's never been there, I've never been there. We're like, it'll be beautiful, it'll be warm, like it'll be great. So she was like, yeah, that's a great idea. Like, I'll book it, you know, I'll start looking and I'll book it tomorrow. So Monday our refund comes through and she texts me and she's like, are you ready to book your trip? And we were like, yeah, like let's go. Like, we don't want to sit here another day, because at this point, like, we're just at home. Like, we're not anywhere exciting. Like, we're literally at home. And so she goes to book the trip to the Keys, and the flights are $800 a person. And a lot of the availability, she was like, there's very limited availability. Like, what if you just fly into Miami and then drive to the Keys? And we were like, you know, that's great. Like, we love road trips. Like, it'll still be fun. We'll just fly into Miami. She was like, you know, it'll probably be cheaper to fly into Miami, all this stuff. So she goes to book it, and then she finds out that because we're booking so late, obviously the flights are like triple the price that they usually would be. And for whatever reason, I guess the hotels that she was trying to book like wouldn't let her book it less than 24 hours in advance. So we wouldn't even be able to get a hotel until Wednesday. And we were like, we do not want to wait that long. And then we found out that for a trip from Wednesday to Sunday in Miami was gonna cost more money than our whole week trip to Puerto Rico. And we were just like, I mean, I've never been to Miami, but like that's probably not really the scene that we want, and I'm definitely not paying that much money to go to Miami. Like, for Puerto Rico it was different because we're like, oh, the islands, you know, whatever. But to go to Miami for 4 days, like, we did not want to do that. And our flight on Wednesday wasn't going to leave until later that afternoon. So basically we weren't going to have any time at all on Wednesday to do anything. And we were just like, no, like, we don't want to do that. We don't want to pay all this because it was going to cost more. Like, we were going to have to fork out more money. And we were like, we don't want to do that, and we don't really have the money to do that right now. Like, that's not really an option. And so she was like, well, I don't really know what to tell you. Like, flights pretty much everywhere are so expensive because it's so last minute. And like, it wasn't her fault, but like, she just didn't really have anything. Like, she didn't have a solution because like, she can't control the prices, obviously. And we knew that, but we were just both very frustrated and upset that like, at this point we're like, we're gonna be at home all week. And I was frustrated because I was like, I could just be at work, like saving my vacation time to go somewhere else, or literally anything else besides what was happening. So I'm like in the middle of a breakdown. Jonathan's pissed off because we're stuck at home, and we're just like, we have to figure something out. And Jonathan was like, let's just get in the car and go somewhere. And as y'all know, I'm very much a planner. Like, I could not do that. I was like, no, we have to think. But I was just so like out of it and frustrated and stressed out that like I couldn't think straight. And I was like, I don't even know where I would want to go, like whatever. So I took a little bit of time, and our travel agent was like, you know, just think about it, like calm down, think about it, call me back whenever you guys decide. She was like, if you guys don't want to go anywhere right now, your travel credit is good for like a year, like a little over a year, and you can use it wherever, whenever you want within that year. Like, if you don't want to use it all at once, you can break it up, like whatever you want to do. And we were like, okay, well, let us think about it and we'll let you know. So a little bit goes by, and I'm like, what if we go to Disney World? Because neither of us have ever been to Disney World. And Jonathan at this point was just like, if that's what you want to do, like that's fine, like I just want to go. Because we can drive to Disney World. It was like an 8-hour drive. We could leave the next morning, because at this point it was like later on Monday. So we could leave the very next morning and we could stay until Sunday. We would pretty much still have our whole week, and like we would get to do something that we'd never done. And so it sounded like a great idea. So our travel agent was like, yeah, you can book that through me. So she books us all 4 Disney parks. She books us this really nice hotel. Like, we didn't realize how nice it was until we got there. We got there and it was like a whole suite, like with a full kitchen, a living room, a bedroom, like a big huge bathtub, and then obviously a bathroom or whatever. And this really, really nice hotel. And it wasn't a Disney hotel, but it was only like 10 minutes. So it worked out. Like, it was a beautiful hotel. So we ended up going to Disney World, which any other time probably would have been fun, would have been a lot more exciting, but we just wanted to relax. And if you've ever been to Disney World, obviously you know that it is not a relaxed environment. We literally walked like 30 miles in 4 days, and it was so hot, even though it was October, and we thought all the kids would be in school, but there were still so many like school-age kids there. I don't know if they were on break or if they were just like skipping school. I don't know. There were so many kids there. There were so many lines. Like, it was just not at all what we wanted to do. And because we were only there from Tuesday night to Sunday morning, like pretty much every day we were at a park. Like, we didn't have time to just like hang out with each other and relax and like enjoy being a new married couple. Like, we were with all these other people and so much chaos going on, and like neither of us were really in a good mood, because once we got there we realized like this was a very rash decision, and we should have like thought about it more and like went somewhere else. But we ended up in Disney World. We got a lot of cute pictures, but like it just was not as good of a time as I think it probably would have been if we would have like originally planned to do that. But it didn't cost nearly as much as Puerto Rico, so we do have almost half of what we originally paid for Puerto Rico left over that we can use in the next year. Again, we can use it all at once, or we can use it, you know, here and there, whatever we want to do, just until basically next November. So that's nice, but we just like didn't have the honeymoon of our dreams. But we are thankful because our wedding was absolutely perfect and we could not have asked for more. We did get a video done that day, so I will share that once I receive it back. I'm so excited. Our photography team was amazing. But I just wanted to hop on here and give you guys a little story time. That's why I didn't vlog, because we were at Disney World and I didn't want to carry around my camera, and like we just weren't really in a good mood anyway, so I didn't feel like vlogging, to be honest. And I didn't want to vlog and I was supposed to just be like, oh, this is alright, like we're both in a crappy mood, like we don't want to be here. I just didn't want to do that, and so that's why there is no honeymoon vlog. But we are enjoying the married life. We were having a good time, other than, you know, some mishaps the week after the wedding, week before the wedding, all that good stuff. And I plan to make a lot more wedding videos now that it's over, like our favorite things of our wedding, what we recommend to you guys, things that we think you should just not even worry about paying for, don't even worry about having it, all that good stuff. And I also want to make a video of us reacting to our video that we get, like when we first get it back, when neither of us have watched it yet. So I hope to do those. If you have any other wedding videos that you would like to see, comment them down below, whether it's advice or anything like that. Obviously the wedding is already over, so you can't really vlog anything else about the wedding, but any advice, tips, tricks, anything like that that you want to see, comment them down below, whether it's from me or me and Jonathan. We would both be happy to do anything that you guys would like to see. But that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and if you're going on a honeymoon, I hope that it works out better than ours did. Bye, y'all.